As part of our series, Best Weapons and Class Setups in BO4 in 2021, we are going to be taking a closer look at the Peacekeeper, who should be running this weapon, the attachments that you should be running, overall class setups, so forth and so on. And if you guys do enjoy the content and want to see more just like this in the future, I do upload each and every single day. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and like the video as well. I really do appreciate that, you guys. And without wasting any more time, let's go ahead and take a closer look at the Peacekeeper. Now, I feel very comfortable in mentioning that the Peacekeeper is a top contender in terms of weapons that are just on the DLC list. Of course, you have the VMP, which comes in at number 1. And you do have the Peacekeeper, which comes in at a very close second. And there is good reason for that. It's very versatile and it lends itself or yields itself to so many different play styles. So it doesn't matter if you like to play very fast and aggressive. Let's say normally you're a sub player. If you like to play very slow paced, there is going to be a class setup for you. And this is aided by the fact that there are so many good attachments that you can pull and choose from. You can mix and match and find something, come out with something that really matches your play style. And we're going to be going over a whole plethora of different sets of attachments that you can kind of mix and match here in today's video. So without wasting any time, of course, as you guys can tell, it really just comes down to, how you play, and we'll get into that. Anyone can run this weapon. In all of my videos where I go over class setups, I always like to talk about, who should be running this weapon, who should avoid this weapon. Anybody can run this weapon. The Peacekeeper is very, very versatile. Now, I do want to focus our attention on the attachments, but first, as always, I do like to first and foremost look at the optics. I can tell you right here and now what to avoid, and that would be, of course, as always, the threat detector and NVIR. Don't use those. Just don't use those. Terrible. What I can suggest, though, is ELO over reflex. However, if you must, you can run reflex if you really want to. If you're just like an old school player and you enjoy that, that's perfectly fine. But ELO is really the best optic, I think, in the entire game, and I think that a lot of people who have been playing this game for a long time would strongly agree with me. Now, iron sights aren't bad, but I wouldn't recommend them overall. I think they're kind of constricting and they're very limiting in terms of your view. You can't really see too much, so that can be a bit of a problem. But moving forward, I will be leaving ELO on, but if you want to run reflex, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you want to run iron sights, there's nothing wrong with that. You can do that. I just highly recommend that you run ELO. It is truly the best optic in the game. So now with that being said, let's go ahead and take a look at these sets of attachments here. And this is going to be the most balanced set of attachments that you can find. So that would be, of course, stock, quick draw, rapid fire, and hybrid mags. This is going to be the most kind of like middle of the road approach when you're looking at the Peacekeeper, and it's going to offer you as well the most functionality. So each of these attachments is going to serve a purpose. Stock, obviously, you're going to be able to move faster while you're aiming in, so that's very beneficial. Quick draw, you can zoom in faster or aim in much faster. Rapid fire, you're going to decrease the amount of time it takes for you to get a kill, if you can hit your shots, of course. And hybrid mags, not only are you going to get an increased magazine in terms of you're going to have more bullets, but it's actually going to cut your reload time almost in half. Not quite, but almost. So that is obviously very beneficial. But if we take a look at these attachments here, as you can see, every single one of these is very good. You have double stock, double quick draw, and you can make a class out of that right there. Double stock and double quick draw if you wanted to. Wouldn't recommend it, but you certainly could. You have grip, rapid fire, suppressor, and hybrid mags. Now, I do want to focus my attention to suppressor because I am not someone who has ever been a big fan of suppressor. I go for functionality. I think that functionality is most important. I think that a lot of people like to run suppressor because they think it looks and sounds cool. And although that if that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. If you like to play like more passive, you certainly can run the suppressor. If you just like that more stealthy game mode, that's up to you. But ultimately, I just wouldn't recommend it. I don't think it really offers the player much anything outside of just not being able to be seen on the minimap. But getting to what I always mention in my videos when talking about BO4, the aggressor usually walks away from the gunfight victorious and from the match victorious. So whoever is the most aggressive team generally tends to win. So using a suppressor in BO4 is really not something that is going to help you if you want to win. You always want to be more aggressive. So getting back to my initial point here, this is the class setup that I think that would be the best for you if you're looking for a middle of the road approach. This is a really good starting point. Another good class setup that you guys are watching in the video right here is you're going to swap out hybrid mags for double quick draw or quick draw 2. Now, quick draw 2 is going to give you an insanely fast speed in which you can basically aim in. So you're going to aim in at an insanely fast rate. Now, that is going to be amazing if you want to play very, very fast paced and aggressive. I would say that this is going to be an amazing class setup if you want to play fast and aggressive, if you're normally a sub player. Double quick draw, stock, and rapid fire with your ELO. Absolutely amazing if you want to play fast paced. Now, if you're looking to play a little bit more on the slower side, you certainly can do that. You can always obviously kind of opt for grip and reflex. So we have reflex, stock, quick draw, rapid fire, and grip. That would be an amazing class setup if you want to kind of play a little bit more passively. Even though in BO4, keep in mind that, you know, playing passively is still actually very aggressive. And when you take a look at games like BO1 and BO2, passive in those games is like really passive. Now, passive in BO4, completely different story. Still has a lot of aggression to it. But ultimately, that is what I'd recommend if you really do want to play more passively. So anyways, I certainly hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. I've always talked about gear, always talked about perks here. Ultimately, I can't recommend stem shot enough, and I can't recommend dexterity enough. I've talked about that many times. I think that it's better than dead silence, and as far as stem shot is concerned, it is the best gear in the game. I don't want to waste too much time on that, but I really do appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions about anything, be sure to let me know in the comment section. I really do appreciate you guys, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.